All right, good day, everyone, and we're welcome to today's edition of The Champion. And with us today is Tinu. Tinu, can you please introduce yourself to us? Let us know about your personal journey and what you would like to share with us.
Hey, I'm Atinuke. I'm here to share my story about my journey through lupus.
Oh, great. Nice to meet you once again, Atinuke. What were your first symptoms and how did they present?
Okay, I used to work in a bank, and what I was into was business development and creating profitability, managing a team of people from operations to sales. And then I discovered, and I had to move around a lot, going about to see my customers, going about to meet with my customers. So at some point, I discovered that I was getting fatigued easily. I know myself to be that person that is up and about and moving, and and then all of a sudden I discovered my 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 strength, it wears out like really fast. I find it difficult to even get out of bed in the morning. And it started slowly like that. The next thing, I started feeling some form of migraine, like serious migraine per time. And at times, I won't be able to sleep through the night just because of this migraine. Later, I started having some serious fever, going in and out of hospital, serious joint pain, pains that I could not like really manage until I take heavy dosage of painkillers. So the first hospital experience I had was, oh, it's fever. It's just like acute fever. They placed me on some medications. I felt somewhat better. And I discovered in another 2 weeks, I was back in hospital. Then they said it was alopecia. No, yeah, they said it was alopecia because I had some lesions on my scalp and I had my hair kind of falling off. So the doctor said it was alopecia. I was asked to see a specialist, and I thought I was going to get better. I still wasn't getting better. And then the third time, or more than, because this journey spanned like 6 months in and out of hospital. And then the last one that pushed me to seeking another form of advice was when I went there and they said, we think it's ulcer this time. And I was like, no, no, I need to seek another opinion.
Oh, great, great, Atinuke. Thank you for sharing with us. And all of this started what year?
So this was in 2019, June of 2019.
Wow, wow. So you were in and out of hospital, and were you already feeling some form of symptoms, like you said, persistent body aches, and you were in and out of the hospital, believing it was the regular malaria or typhoid that we experience in that part of Africa. But can you add more light or shed more light to the other kind of symptoms you saw around yourself or on different parts of your body during this period?
Okay, so there were peculiar symptoms like blisters in the palm of my hands and then on the tip of my fingers, even up onto my eyelid. I had some blisters in my eyelid. But the one that was both of this one and the one on my scalp were the ones that felt like this cannot be malaria, this cannot be typhoid, this cannot be ulcer. So the one that really pushed me at the end was when I was advised that it was ulcer, and I thought, no, I need to seek another opinion. That was the one.
Oh, great. Thank you, Atinuke. So how long did it take to get a definite lupus diagnosis?
Okay, so in November of 2019, I was coming from the hospital, and when the doctor told me, "Oh, it's ulcer," and then gave me some medication for ulcer, and I knew this is not ulcer because I don't know. I just had a strange feeling that this can't be ulcer. So on my way from the hospital, I took a photo of my arms and I sent to my sister-in-law in Ibadan. She's a doctor in UCH, and she asked whose hands. I said mine. And the next thing was about like 5 minutes later, I got a call from my other sister-in-law in Dublin, and she was like, Tinu, what's going on? Alera just called me. This, and I'm like, yes. And I said, okay, I'll call you back. Next thing, she called me back and told me, oh, I need to go see this person on Monday at Lassuth, and her name is Folake. I don't even need to call her. They already booked the appointment. I should just go there on Monday by this time. And that was how my journey started. Going to Lassuth to visit Dr. Folake was the beginning of my journey.
Okay, Dr. Folake is what kind of job does she do?
Okay, so Dr. Folake is a dermatologist.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So, what was your initial reaction when you heard the word lupus, and how did you educate yourself about the disease?
Okay, so when I met Dr. Folake that day, it was on a Monday. She asked me a lot of questions and I answered, and I showed her my scalp, I showed her my palms, the tip of my fingers. I showed her everything. Even she saw it herself from my eyelid as well. She was like, this is lupus. I said, no, this is not lupus. This is malaria. I don't know what lupus is. Now asked me many questions. Have I had this pain? Anything regarding my chest? Have I had any pain regarding my chest? What has my joint pain been like? How often have I been in hospital regarding fever? And she went on and on. And when she asked everything, she said, it presents itself in this way. And for that reason, she knows it's lupus. But the type of lupus is not what she understands yet. So I'll need to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests. And then when I get the results, she'll be able to let me know if it's something that has got to do with her as a dermatologist, or she would have to refer me to a rheumatologist.
Okay. I would like you to shed more light after the diagnosis. What were your expectations, and what were the things Dr. Folake further told you about this condition?
Okay, so I went for those tests, and the results were mailed to me. I forwarded those results rather to Dr. Falake, and he let me know that this is systemic lupus based off the results that she can see here, and it's not something she's going to handle. She's going to pass me to a rheumatologist. And she's a major part of my journey, because she took me by the hand to a rheumatologist and made sure that day she got that result was the day I started my treatment in December 2019.
Oh, beautiful. So, were there other things she told you about the condition that, oh, it's treatable, it's manageable, it's curable, or where can it be? Is it hereditary, or is something that is, how should I put it now? Is it communicable infection or disease?
So I remember asking her. Immediately she told me it was lupus. When we got talking, and I was like, wait, does it mean I'm going to die? She said, no. I said, okay, so what is the cause of this lupus? She said, well, currently they do not have a, a cause for it, and they do not have a cure for it, but it can be managed. And she said the management of it is dependent on the extent it's gone in the system. And from the results afterwards, I discovered, because she told me if it's affected any part of my organs, then it's going to be on another level. But if it's something that is just, stemming, then they can easily curb it and make sure that it's properly managed. And
All
to the
right.
glory of God, it had not affected any part of my organs, and I started my journey with a rheumatologist.
Okay. Does it mean that for some people or for some other patients, they found out late and it could have affected some other parts of their body or their organs?
I would say one of the miracles for me in my journey with lupus is early diagnosis. Because by the time I started my treatment and I started seeing other patients in the hospital, I discovered some people I've been in and out of hospital taking one form of treatment for like 3 years before the discovery or before the diagnosis. And I saw that these people is either they already with liver issues, kidney issues, some even up to psychosis. And, I was just like, it must be that God loves you this much to just make sure that you get a diagnosis on time. So I know that the effects it does have on people can be different per time and per the time of diagnosis as well.
Okay. So can you share one or two memorable moments or interactions that were key turning points in your diagnosis?
Okay, I must say there are two major ones. The first one is the one I just narrated, my actual diagnosis in December of 2019. And the second one, because I had a reason to move from my home country, Nigeria, to Canada. And the second one was when I got to Canada. And for me, it wasn't was that's why I give the glory to God all the time, because even my journey in Canada, it was just by God's grace. When you're coming to a new place and you feel that, oh, medical help is going to be expensive and everything, and then you're hiding. I was still taking my medication from home, still relating with my doctor from home. But one thing led to the other. I found myself in emergency in Canada, and that was how I was linked to a rheumatologist, and that was another turning point in my life.
Okay. So that's good. Good to know. Thank you so much. So back home in Nigeria, did you come in contact with other lupus patients?
Yes, I did. In the
And
course
if
of
I
my
may cut you
treatment,
short, what was your experience with the other patients?
most of the lupus patients I met during my treatment back home, I see them and I always tell myself, no, we can't be treating the same illness. It cannot be the same illness that these people are going through that I'm treating. Because a lot of these people were in severe situations, and for me, mine was like a mild situation beside them. So I used to feel like it can't be the same thing that we are treating. A lot of people are going through so much when it comes to lupus back home. So I would say it differs from person to person. There is no streamlined way that lupus manifests in people. So I encountered a lot of people that their level of lupus, in fact, up to their appearance, was devastating.
Wow. Wow. A lot of times, even if I can recollect, we discussed and you mentioned that even in Canada, it's still not so well known as um, a disease or something that the medical practitioners can easily find out. And lupus is also called an invisible illness. How do you explain the impact of your disease, especially symptoms like chronic fatigue or, other kind of experiences you go through to friends and family?
Okay, so the way lupus presents itself in an invisible way, really, because the symptoms can play a lot of tricks on people. At times, you just be looking okay, but the things you're going through, uh, they they can be very, very terrible. In fact, lupus taught me another level of empathy, because at that point I realized even my family, they don't understand what you're going through. You can't explain to them. But the only thing is, especially when it's got to do with people that are the closest to you, they get to be like, if they're the ones that really know you, they get to ask, what's going on? You're not like this. And like you're tired, you don't want to even involve yourself in stuff. It makes you, those early times are the times, or the symptoms are the ones that the people that would really understand you are maybe the people that are closest to you, that can be able to say, she's not like this. So what's going on? And another thing that happened to me at the time was I was losing weight fast because I can recollect that I lost like 13 kg at that time. So people that would see me would be like, ah, what's going on? Some people that don't know me, maybe colleagues at work, will feel like, oh, it's a weight loss process, you know? And it's difficult to explain these things. But the most important thing is to know for yourself that you need to be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself too hard that, oh, these things I used to do, I can't do again. You start from yourself first, and then you can transcend to your family members to make them understand that this is something that needs serious attention.
All right, thank you, Atinuke. So, so far so good. You've been living, and by God's grace, you've overcome lupus. Just to create an awareness for people that are treating some conditions that they don't know what it is. So, what would be your advice to them? What would you be your advice to them in terms of early diagnosis, to seek medical attention, or what else? Just share your opinion on what has aided your well-being up until now with other people.
Okay, first and first, like I said earlier, you need to be kind to yourself. You need to be kind to yourself. Understand that these things you're passing through, other people around you might not even understand it. They might not know how you're feeling. They can't feel your pains. They can't feel your burden. So for that reason, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself in speaking up, reaching out, reaching for help. You know, don't just be silent and think that, oh, because the truth is, when I started having the fatigue in the first place, I'll be like, "Ah, when did I become lazy? All of a sudden I'm just lazy. I don't want to get out of bed." But it was later on I was like, you need to be kind to yourself. If you think that in some way you're becoming lazy or in some way you're becoming overly tired, seek help. Don't be quiet. Seek help. So I'll just advise anyone to seek help fast.
Oh, great. Thank you, Atinuke. So, what would you say, technology wise, what are the discoveries that have been, or the innovations that have been put in place to help patients with lupus?
Okay, so like when I got to Canada, my the first thing the rheumatologist that was I was assigned to, or that was assigned to me, the first thing was to take me off a certain medication because that medication would cause more harm than good. And then that was the medication I was using from back home Nigeria. However, right now, the medication I'm on, the treatment I'm on, yes, it's expensive to take care of, but thanks to God, in this part of the world, we have what we call insurance, right? So I'm able to get this new treatment, which is a monthly intravenous system treatment. Yeah, it's called the Safnelo, and so far so good. I've been on this for like 16 months, and it's been the best time for me. Lesions gone, body pain gone. It's true that you need to live through the pain. Yes, I have pains, but I'm grateful to God that at least I'm able to overcome those things easily these days.
Okay. Thank you, Atinuke. With the innovations, that's the medical innovations that have aided you, whether before now, back home in Nigeria and now in Canada, would you say there are side effects to the lupus patients when using these medications?
Well, for me, I would say like I didn't know that a certain medication I was on back home would have like a really terrible side effect in the future was when I got here, I discovered, oh, this medication could, cause you to have severe bone issues by the time you really need your bones, which is by the time you're aging. At that time, in fact, the doctor described it as your bones could break off like toothpicks. And I was like, oh, I didn't know it had that kind of effects. Yes, they would ask that we use some calcium, some bone things, just to help us. But at the end of the day, that was going to be the side effect. So I was made to go off that certain med and then be placed on a new one, which I'm on now. And it's, of course, working to the glory of God.
Oh, so far so good. That means for people that are still on such medication back in Nigeria or say in Africa, what would you advise the government to do for them?
I wish we could have things like this insurance that is going on now here, that they have here. I wish we could have things like that back home, where the things we call HMO back home can be a little more elevated to the extent that people can reach out and get this treatment in an affordable manner other than suffering through it. Because yes, they might get the immediate help they need, but at the end of the day, it becomes a serious problem for them. So in that part of the world, I would pray that at some point, these things like this, these innovations can be, replicated back home just by inching up our insurance policies back home.
All right, so we're coming to the end of this episode, but with just a few questions more. Atunika, I would like to ask you, what are you most hopeful about regarding the future of lupus research or treatment?
I'm hopeful that for them to have gotten this treatment that I'm on now, they will get this treatment to cure lupus.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
And looking forward, what message of hope or practical advice would you give to someone who has just been diagnosed with lupus?
Love yourself. Be kind to you. It's important that you're kind to yourself. Never think less of yourself. Just know that you're pressing on with your meds. You'll be okay, and you back on your feet, up and doing. Fatigue all gone. The bone issues all gone. The joint issues all gone, and then you'll be fine again. It's not the end of the world. Lupus cannot have you. You're going to win over lupus.
Thank you so much, Atinuke.
Yeah.
And until we meet again on the next episode, see you. We would like you to share, follow, and subscribe. And you can also press on the notification bell to receive prompts for our next video. Till we see you again,